Can we look at? Did I say who was the other one did I only say Valkyrae and Pokimane?
I think you might. No, I think you did say someone else, but we can look at Valkyrae.
Let me see if I said someone else. Valkyrae is actually maybe my favorite streamer.
Okay, well, let's look at your favorite then for sure.
It's because and it's so strange because she's actually a YouTube streamer now. But I very rarely watch I don't watch.
Is she still? Does she still do Twitch?
She doesn't do Twitch. She is just on YouTube now.
Oh, okay.
She is the first streamer that has successfully made me watch streams on YouTube. I know. Okay. But also most of the time when I consume Twitch, it's like I'm consuming my friends' streams or more like analytical meta streams or podcasts. So I very rarely watch big streamers for their content. I don't just go and watch Pokimane, or I don't just go and watch Ludwig necessarily, but I'll watch him on an interview or something. But yeah. Valkyrae has always been, there's something about her content that's she's very optimistic and loud and fiery and high energy, but she also has a very opportunistic sort of side to her, much like Pokimane. She's actually roommates with Pokimane right now.
Oh, whoa, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So she and so I started following her back in the Fortnite days. That was when she kind of she went from the 200 viewers, and then suddenly Fortnite happened and she became one of the big streamers.
Oh, okay.
And ever since then, she's just she realized her opportunity and has just been working as hard as she can. And YouTube did give her that so they gave her the big old we're gonna give you all this money if you move over to YouTube.
Yeah. And
she had this kind of issue where she moved over. She's part of 100 Thieves, which is kind of it's an org or whatever. So she had stability with that.
Okay.
So she moved over, and it was interesting because of course she lost viewers at first, but she kept going and going, and and now she's the fastest growing female streamer.
Wow.
Or she might be the most watched female streamer right now, which is, she actually surpassed Pokimane last year. Granted, Pokimane I think did take a vacation.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, but she has she's blown up since I started following her. So I'm really curious how her opportunistic side.
Okay, I'm just trying to find. I'm really bad with states and all that. So I've got Washington and then US, but I've got AR, CT.
It will be Washington
a whole
State.
Bunch of others.
If you want to put put in Seattle, Washington, most likely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's very confusing because
Seattle.
There's Washington, the state, and then there's Washington, D.C.
It confuses me so much. America's so confusing.
I know. Well, and I was also born in Washington State, so oftentimes people will be if someone were to ask, they'll be oh yeah, well, you're from Washington D.C., right? And I'm nope. No. It's the completely opposite side of the country.
Why do they all have the same names? It's confusing.
America's very confusing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, funny.
But yeah, she's also from Washington. She was born the same year as me, and this is a good example of someone I look up to who is very I'll look up to someone who is in the same position as me almost. Well, I mean, she's not. She's obviously
where you want to be, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's I find inspiration by looking up to people who are my age or even younger, or I find inspiration in friends who are doing a little, they're always a little better than me at something, and it's I feel those are so it's really weird actually, because I talked to somebody about that once and I was yeah, Valkyrae is really inspiring to me because she's same age as me, and they were that would really damper my motivation, but for some reason it doesn't. Oh my god.
Wow.
Is that her chart?
I think so.
Holy crap.
8th of January.
Holy crap.
1992. This is what I was saying about some people's charts having all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
yeah, we haven't looked at any of these charts also. we mentioned
okay, yeah. So Seattle. Yeah. All right. So yeah, so there's hardly anything down here. So she's got a little wound down here in Leo, which is strange. A wound in Leo, which is Leo's the pup being famous, being a celebrity, and there's a wound around being a celebrity for some reason there, and it's not making any aspects to anything either.
Yeah. I think
it's not showing us. No, sorry, I didn't choose to show aspects. Sorry. So it is. It's making. It's actually making an opposition with her Saturn. That's interesting. And and she doesn't. So she must have big issues with being in the public eye and being famous and a celebrity. But she still does it. She still does it.
one of the things that I find so interesting about her content is that she really is very like relatable. Like that's her like, and she doesn't really, she's too loud and she's too goofy and she's like, you know, there are all these things about her that like kind of made her not the obvious choice as like the fastest growing female streamer. So in a way it's like she doesn't really take the reins on that as much. It almost seems like she just kind of goes with it, and seeing all of these like really mature signs in her chart, like a lot of Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, it almost feels like it's very outside of herself. It's like she's like, I'm doing this because this is what I want in the world, and it's really fun for me. It brings me a lot of joy, and I feel like she might not like being in the spotlight as much, because I also have Chiron in Leo.
It's more, it's all outer world energy. It's not in the self. Yeah.
And sometimes, and at least for anecdotally for me, having Chiron in Leo, I have a hard time fitting into friend groups, or I have a hard time like really like feeling like I belong, sort of, I guess. And in a way, especially with her journey and watching her journey and like the different friendship groups she's kind of like jumped into, like she was in a really like long relationship with someone where she really just focused on that. Like I find so many similarities with her, like that's why I love her so much. But she was in like one relationship for a long time where they were just friends with each other, so she didn't have a lot of girlfriends. And so like since I've been standing her, I don't stan, but like since I've been following her for so long, I've like kind of watched her like get to know other streamer friends and like kind of grow into this sort of like leadership person. I don't know. It's been really interesting with that. Yeah. I can kind of see the Chiron a little bit, just as far as like her not seeming like she wants to be, you know. It's interesting. What other things are you seeing? I'm seeing so much Sagittarius vibes, and I
was just gonna say all this. Well, you know, we've got Jupiter here in Virgo, so expansion through work.
Yeah, true.
Through being of service, through work, and then and it's just so much, Sag energy here. Like her Mars is there, her Mercury's there, her Venus. So it's all about expansion and growth, and like she can make her money, her drive, her mind. It's all set on Sagittarius stuff. So it's all set on expansion. It's all set on growth. It's all about being optimistic, positive, fun, social. It's and again, it's that, you know, shooting the arrow. So it's like someone, especially Mars in Sag, someone that's going to be able to chase after a lot of things like that. Whatever they put their mind to, they're going to be able to chase after it, and they're going to have that fiery energy. There's lots of fire there and passion and all of that too.
Well, and it's interesting because I was like, she seems so opportunistic. That was like the main thing that I wanted to, and that's always what I associate with like Sag energies, because it is like she's gone through all of these, like her being offered to go to YouTube. Like that was one of the first like big deals that came out, where it's like no one knew what the future of YouTube live streaming would be. Like, would that be a good move? Would that be? And clearly for her, it worked out, because she just was like, all right, I'm pointing my arrow over there. I'm a commit. And she went, and it went bad at first. And she cried on stream, you know, because she was like, this is a really hard transition, but she kept her arrow pointing that way. And she was like, I'm going to make it happen. And like, I feel like that is so Sag. And having like Mercury and Mars and Venus, those are like,
and it's like trusting, having faith that everything's going to work out, just knowing that it's all going to work out, it's going to be fine. I'll be supported, the universe will look after me, basically.
That's really beautiful,
actually. But all this Cap energy, like you like to talk about too. There's all this Capricorn energy up there. So her sun is at 17 degrees. And we've got the North Node there too. So we've got the North Node in Capricorn. So it's very much speaks of someone that is hardworking, that can achieve things, that can build and create some kind of legacy, build something that they can leave behind. Especially that North Node there, they're destined to build something big, some kind of legacy, some kind of huge legacy, or be known for something, or have a reputation for something big in the public with that placement.
And it's kind of nice to balance out all that Sag energy, because Sag stuff is so like boundless, like opportunistic, like
no boundaries.
And so to be grounded with all of these like outer planets and the sun and like Capricorn and the North Node, where her like what she needs to like learn and do in this life is like, it's like really nice. And then I'm kind of curious, so how do you read cusps? I'm looking at her moon on the cusp between Aquarius and Pisces, and I personally always really struggle with reading cusps. I'm kind of curious what you
I don't read cusps. So to me, whatever sign is in, that's the sign it's in. That's what it is. So like a 29 degrees. First degree is the new energy, the beginning energy where you're first learning that energy. And then the 29th degree is the most intense part of that's the last degree. It's where you have the end part, the most intense aspect that you're going to go through. So if it's something like that's really intense and bad, that's the harshest part you're going to go through with that sign is at 29 degrees. It's when you're going to get the most intensity, experience the most out of it. And we just saw that with the Saturn conjunction too with Jupiter before it moved into Aquarius Saturn. Right before those last degrees at 29 degrees Saturn, we got way more like shutdowns, like all this explosive stuff about restrictions and just like all this big thing about like this is the structure in the government. Just everything was just explosive at that 29th degrees. So the last degree is always the most sort of intense. So which right before Mars just left Eris and went into Taurus, that 29th degree is when we started to have some crazy explosive shit in the world, because it was right at that last degree where it was like that last bit of action Mars wanted to take before it moved into Taurus. So it's really intense. It's about to move into slow moving Taurus, and it's got to do that last little things and get that last little bit of fiery, angry energy, aggressiveness out right before it moves into Taurus. So that's how I feel about, I guess, cusps and all that. So having that moon there is going to make that super intense Aquarius energy. So it's someone that's going to be so their feelings and emotions, and they're going to feel content by doing something huge, doing something that's a bigger purpose, that's for the world, that's humanitarian like. They're going to feel like they've got this bigger purpose. They're going to feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders in some way, like there's just something bigger for them. It's going to be so intense with that moon there.
Do you think it would be overwhelming for someone, like, since it's your moon sign and not a more like outside?
Definitely,
it's
going to be so intense. Yeah, because that's where she's going to feel content when she's like doing something that's for a bigger purpose, or that's like really in line with her aspirations and what she wants to achieve out in the world on a big scale. You know. Yeah, and it's also even just that moon there in that 11th house there is going to be someone that can connect with people on a big scale, that can have lots of friendship groups and friendship circles, that can really connect with people on an emotional, intuitive level basically, and can really like tune into people and connect with them on a huge scale, which is what she's doing.
Yeah, it literally is, because like I said, like one of the things that I like so much about her streams and her like aesthetic as a streamer is that she has that authentic side to her where it's like you can tell that she's like, I'm just here to connect and to take advantage of this really cool opportunity that is the internet, and I love games, and I'm really liking these people I'm getting to know, and I feel like she's just kind of thriving in this like Aquarius time right now, especially with all that stuff in Aquarius.
Definitely. And a moon Aquarius naturally anyway, without putting that intense 29 degree aspect on it, part of it, is a moon in Aquarius person is the black sheep. It's someone who feels unique, different. They know that they're here for something bigger. They want to do something different. They don't want to go with society and do everything. There's some kind of full need of like doing something unique and different, being different and unique. And they feel like an alien. They're not like everyone else. They feel completely different to everyone else. Although they might connect with everyone in the same way, and everyone sees them as being a part of them, they're going to feel like someone completely different, alien-like, that's just like not even connected. Like they're going to be like looking at everyone like from a different, like seeing that outside their that body, you know, the outside your body, like you having out of body moments. They're going to be someone that has out of body moments like that in a way.
I kind of explain like Aquarius vibes as like Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter a lot. That's like my favorite example of Aquarius energies, where it's like she's so unique but so like present and authentic and like accepting, but like true to herself sort of, and doesn't really care that she's the black sheep. I feel like having your moon in Aquarius can make like you really feel, I feel like it's almost like an isolating kind of cold, like almost, because it is sort of, it's like
really intellectual too.
Yeah, it's very like
and not emotional.
I feel like Aquarius is so weird because it's simultaneously like a weird, unique, and innovative vibe, but it's also like, how do you bring that vibe into society and help people? You know, like it has like it's like a mix between like uniqueness and individuality, but also like fitting that into society, I guess. It's so weird. Aquarius is a very strange energy.
It is. It's alien. My teacher, my teacher, and another actually, like most of my teachers say that Aquarian is alien energy. They're aliens. So anyone who has really strong Aquarian aspects in their chart, you're an alien. Aquarians are aliens. That's all there is to it. They're aliens.
Honestly, I vibe with that. I feel like
and they feel like aliens. They feel different to everyone else. And a lot of Aquarians say that.
Out of this world, really.
Yeah, they're out of this world, exactly.
Yeah. And also, she just started her Saturn return too. Side note.
Oh, yes, exactly. She did. Oh my gosh. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see her.
Yes, that'll be interesting the next 2.5 years to see her go through a Saturn return and see what happens. Wow.
Because it really feels like she jumped on the Fortnite wave and then just has been riding that wave. And now she's suddenly like way above everyone. And it's just like, I feel like she's going to reach this point during the Saturn return where she's like, now what? You know, like what do I actually...
What am I going to do for the next 30 years now? Is that what it's going to be? What am I going to do for the next 30 years now? Yeah. Because that's what it is. It's like that's setting you up for the next 30 years, 28 years. Yeah. That's nuts. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so fun. Crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. And it's like you said, whenever we've got all these planets up here, it's all so much outer world focus.
Yeah. I'm wondering if like... Do you ever think about, I know people kind of talk about the ages of signs a little bit, but I can't help but think of like Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces is like a little more mature than
they are. They definitely are. They are the signs that are like these, it's even just these three, the last three, they are the more developed higher signs. You know, Eris is the baby of the zodiac. The beginning, the fresh start, the newness. Pisces is the end, the master, the completion. So as you move around, you go through the signs, you know. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So and I definitely feel like she has that sort of like, it's so weird because she is, I mean, all that Sagittarius energy I think brings the youthfulness out of her, because like I said, she's like, you know, Fortnite streamer who probably is a little too loud sometimes, a little bit too like obnoxious, like laughs like that way. That is like kind of
that can be this placement too. You can make her like that. Yeah, this placement.
That is super. Yeah, fair. Oh my god.
Eris and Aries can make that. Someone like that too.
Really? Is Eris? Okay, Eris
is Mars's brother. Is it Mars's brother? But it's another like wild placement, angry, aggressive, or just like it's like another sort of angle.
I see. That's so interesting. Is it usually written like that, or is there a glyph for it? I feel like I've seen a glyph for it before, but maybe
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think I've ever really calculated Eris before.
I usually just put it's daughter. Sorry, is it daughter? Daughter of Mars. Is it? It's the Greek like goddess of chaos, strife, and discord. So it's like really angry, aggressive energy, all that. I'm really bad with mythology and archetypes and stuff.
I love.
But it's I thought it was brother, sister of Mars. Maybe it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, something. Sister and companion of Eris. Oh, there you go. Eris of Ares. I get confused with all that. But yeah, it's like, I know it's like more aggressive sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's so interesting, especially with it in Aries, which is the youngest sign. Because she does have like she is very like professional. Like she is opportunistic and was like, I'm going to go join an org and I'm going to like really take my time trying to decide which org I'm going to join. And she like really like, you know, is very professional with all of this. But like the way she streams is so... It has like that immature, like I've mentioned her being like loud like multiple times. And so like having something in Aries like makes a lot of sense, especially if it's something, if the planet itself or like Eris itself is similar to Mars in any way. I can absolutely see her Aries side coming out quite often when she's feeling like in the moment and passionate about things for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's nuts looking at charts. But like I said, if we had birth times and you could see where everything was, it'd just be crazy. Like,
oh, I know. Can you
just
imagine?
to see someone's midheaven and see what's up there, because the midheaven can be like in the public and like us in the public eye. To see famous people and how their midheaven's playing out is really cool as well.
Oh my gosh, Emily.
Oh, Emily, are you rating us? Oh,